Hey guys, Jonah here, and I'm back with another episode of Supermarket Sunday. And because it's Sunday, there was motorbikes on, and it's getting near the end of the season. But I don't have a World Superbike, so I'm wearing my Orange County Choppers hat today. But Ducati pulled off an amazing double. They've won MotoGP and they've won the World Superbike Championship, and they've got a ridiculous new bike coming out next year. But it's going to be, I reckon it's probably going to be 40 grand, maybe something like that, which is unheard of for a bike. But if I win the lottery, I'm going to get one, and I'm going to pull some wheelies, get my knee down, probably get my elbow down, my head down. I'll get down. Anyway, this is the second in a sort of bargainacious supermarket Sunday. If you haven't seen last week's episode, what's wrong with you? You need to subscribe. Click like, click subscribe down below, flick that bell, then you'll never miss one of these videos again. Have a look back at last Sunday and you'll see I had an amazing bargain. But today is even better. I have finally cracked it. I have got some beers that are under £1 a pint. SHAMON. Right, so there were four of these, but I drank a cup. Oh, well, I drank one. Can you see? 4 cans of beer, usually costing £4.25, which is pretty cheap in itself, but reduced to £3.19. I know there's three, but believe me, there were four because I drank one earlier on. I couldn't resist, and it's the old Hobgoblin. Oh, but it's the gold version. Now, the reason why these were reduced, and I don't know if you can see, but they sellotape them together. It's incredibly bad for the environment. But if I put these over here, because I've done my research, my due diligence, so I've got another can of Hobgoblin. That's the one that got away by the ear, but this is a proper Hobgoblin, a ruby red one. But it's the can. Look, four and a half. That is not the same as in bottles, but this is the way Hobgoblin do it. It is a piece of cardboard, which is amazingly good for the environment. It even says recycle on here. This is what was missing. So instead, they sellotape them together. So because it was missing, hang on, oh, I'm going to juggle it. This piece of cardboard, I got over £1 off. £3. Dun, 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 dun. £3.19. Now, if you do your calculations, each one of these bottles is a 500 milliliter bottles. I mean cans. It's a 500 milliliter can. So that in itself is not a pint. But if you multiply it by 568, which is a pint, and then divide by 4, because there were 4 cans, you end up with, well, let me tell you, this can itself is 90p. Okay, well, actually it's 87p or something. It's just under 90p, but that works out at 90 pence for a pint. I remember back in the 90s, if you were doing incredibly well, you could get a pint for 99p. But 90p for Hobgoblin? Okay, it's Hobgoblin Gold, and they've done the same in the cans. This one is 4.2% on the ABV, but for 90p a pint, my God, that is absolutely ridiculous. So guess what? I am going to be celebrating, and I should have got this out probably before now, but I have got the exclusive legendary Hobgoblin goblet. Okay, I know you're supposed to drink the ruby red out, and I could do because I've got one here, as you saw earlier on, but I'm not going to because it's Supermarket Sunday. I'm going to drink the Barginacious beer, and he gets it out of the Hobgoblin goblet. And it even says something on there about brewing. It's not going to focus, is it? It's going to focus on the box. What it says: brewed with roasted malts for a well-balanced and rich taste and smooth character. Oh, of doom, that's what I say. Right, I'm fast running out of space, so I'm going to put this down on the ground as well. Sorry about this. So that can go down there, that can go down there. Let's open this bad boy. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I've actually done a review on the gold before. I might have, and if you want to check, remember what I said earlier on, go back and have a look at my other videos, but I'm going to see where we get to. I think this goblet is probably a little bit shy of a full can, so we'll see how well we do, but I don't think it's all going to fit in here. No, there's going to be some left in the can, but never mind. Let's turn this around. So then, my God, I actually planned half of this stuff. It would be genius. And then do something like a funny face to cheer the goblin. Look at that. Absolutely genius. Fingernails head. It's just about hanging around, which is really, really good. 4.2% on the ABV. And the can, they have actually updated the cans. And they are a work of art. Now, if you go down to the supermarket, and this is Supermarket Sunday, remember, you can get 500 milliliter cans of Hobgoblin at normal price of £4.25, which is just over £1 a can. But when they have deals on, wow, you'd be a fool not to take it. Look at that, absolutely crystal clear. You can see me through there, but you can also see, well, the writing's backwards, but you can see some carbonation on there. Absolutely lovely, lovely stuff. Oh. Now, I should have probably done a sniff test. Okay, obviously this is a macro, and I'm pretty sure that they are now brewed by Marston's. If my thing is correct, I should have looked at this. Carlsberg Marston's. Cool. So some would argue that the Hobgoblin beers are not the same as they used to be when it was purely done by Witchwood, and I believe they were brewed in Henley, if that's right. Could be wrong. Somewhere up that way. But I think I remember last time I was there. Believe it or not, I used to do rowing. I used to row boats up and down the Thames. But yeah, there used to be a brewery in Henley itself. I think they've converted it into houses or flats now. Oh. And this beer, slightly different from the Hobgobbler, which is usually associated with Halloween. So we're in the right kind of neck of the woods. But it's very sweet. It's quite a sweet beer. It does have some nice hop bitterness there too. And when I say sweet, I mean on the lips. It's not like, it's not like a really sweet pastry type beer. Pardon me. I would say, well, it's gold, isn't it? So guess what the gold stands for? It's a golden beer. And that is precisely what you get. Really, really nice beer. You can sink a few of these, a fair few. And at this kind of rate, which is 4.2% for this particular beer, This puts it on a par with Guinness, believe it or not, which is very easy drinking beer as well. This one, you could, if you weren't driving, of course, you could probably sit and have 4 or 5 of these and still be not completely langered. Whereas with the draft version of the Hobgoblin, which is still, I think, over 5%, you're probably only going to have 2 or 3 before you start feeling it. Lovely, lovely beer. Ooh. There was a time, not that long ago, when I went down the Hobgoblin rabbit hole, as it were, and I got quite involved. I drunk all of their seasonal beers, and yeah, some of them are absolutely brilliant. Some of them, not as good, to be perfectly honest. But some of them, Hobgoblin itself, love that stuff. Used to drink loads of it. This gold one though, especially at £4.25, which is full price down the supermarket. That was Tesco's I went to. It's also reasonably cheap at yeah, if you go down to Sainsbury's as well. Although weirdly, the normal Hobgoblin is cheaper than the gold version, even though it's stronger. Work that one out. But yeah, you can definitely get it under £5 for 4 cans, and they're big cans. This is the thing that people don't look at. When I'm looking for just normal everyday table beer, that usually I wouldn't do a review on, to be perfectly honest. I'm doing this special review purely because it's Supermarket Sunday. But I'd be looking at something like this. I might be looking at a Thirsty Ferret, or sometimes a Ghost Chip, or something along those lines. Or what's the Whitstable Bay or the Shepherd Neame one called? Can't remember, but sometimes that's on offer as well, and I'll get that. The Whitstable Bay Pale, I think. Can't remember exactly what the name is, but they're all 440 cans, and I cottoned onto this reasonably recently because I picked up one and I went, hang on, it's cheap anyway, but it's in a 500ml can, and you're getting a nice pint almost. You're getting a nice 500 of a good beer. Okay, they water it down a little bit, but some of those other beers are pretty kind of watered down. They're 4.5%. So you know, it is much better value for money. Guys, this has been Uncle Jonah raising a chalice to you on a Supermarket Sunday. Have a look out for those bargains, because your local supermarket will have somewhere a bargain section, and sometimes they have beers. And this one is because they didn't have this one piece of packaging. Look at that, it's just a piece of cardboard with holes cut in, which is brilliant, by the way. Hobgoblin, brilliant move, so good for the environment. Brilliant, thank you very much. Obviously, glass bottles are better recycling wise, but I totally understand that to keep costs down, they're lighter in cans than they are in bottles. You can get Hobgoblin in bottles as well if you want to, but a little bit more expensive. So if you're looking for that bargain, keep a lookout for the cheap beers in your local supermarket. And if I find any more, I'm going to review them on Supermarket Sunday. Guys, cheers and beers. I'll be back with another beer review tomorrow, but it's going to be a normal beer review, and I'm going to drink the last of the Vocation beers, because I did find another one, but it was part of one of those pesky Beer 52 boxes. Cheers and beers. We'll see you tomorrow.